to be on the red side, because any team that loses on red side immediately goes to blue side. That's just the way things go. It will be some similar bans from that game number 1, though. Weibo on that blue side ban away the Poppy and the Rumble. We'll get the Azir ban by IG.
Still have things like Gwen and Vi to hit the ban table as expected. Maybe Trundle starts to creep into those bans as well. And we'll get to see whether or not there's a little bit more focus down on that bot side. We've seen Senna a couple of times hit the bans quite early on, depending on sort of how much you prize your ability to sit back and scale. But for Weibo now on this blue side here, their options for first picks. Currently Varus still open and available as well as one of those bans. We see Gwen still up and available. So maybe getting rid of a Jax here to force the Gwen ban to give you, a decent opportunity in that top side is one of the angles that Weibo are going to go for.
Yeah, I could see that as well. Again, for Weibo, I just want to see ease of execution. I know we said that that's a good thing to have in game number 1s. IG got that in game number 1. I want to see that for Weibo this time around. They are going to ban away the Jhin as a final ban in the first phase. Really worried about giving over that utility to the bot lane of IG.
Yeah, so what have we got left? Varus and Gwen still the available options, and it feels like this is Weibo saying we want to trade those instead. IG probably not going to ban one without banning the other. Instead, they're happy to get the Varus off the table, so you'd expect Breathe to go for a Gwen here. It's been so frequently banned away, but you've also got this Vi as well. That then opens up for Xayah Rakan as a response if IG want to take that, so lots of mind games going on here.
I do wonder if it's going to be a pivot to some more facilitation, some more setup for Tian, and it is. It's going to be the Vi. You have some bruiser potential. Vi's definitely fallen out of favor with the junglers in the LPL to some extent, but still kind of that ease of execution. What do you got to do? You locked out a carry with your R, and maybe it's going to work out for him as the Rakan immediately comes through for IG.
Yeah, and then you would just think that you probably want to take the Xayah here to prevent Weibo from maybe denying it from you on this second phase, but there is an opportunity for them to try and take another highly priced pick. I'm thinking that Gwen that's still open and notably missing from this draft at the minute. We'll see where it is that it gets either banned, picked, or if it slips all the way through. It's just a pick that we've seen so frequently. It seems surprising to me that it's getting let all the way through here.
And this is going to be Aurora for rookie. It could be for TheShy if we get some craziness with the draft. There's some flexibility there. But this team definitely likes this pick. And they're going to get it in the second game. So some comfort going their way. We'll see what Weibo's 2-punch is going to be here with its second and third picks on blue side.
Yeah, and I think that this maybe disincentivizes the Gwen from Weibo because they can switch the Aurora into that top side. We've already seen it from TheShy once this split already, where he's moved that Aurora to the top lane to allow for Rookie to have a better matchup in the mid lane. The Rise getting picked up for Weibo means that whoever it is that's in that mid lane is going to have to find and be okay with 2, 3, 4 seconds worth of CC for a good while. It means that maybe things like Galio as well might increase in priority for Rookie if they do want to swap that into the Aurora into that top side. And Weibo here, we've pulled the draft away, so maybe they didn't want Rise. I don't know.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. How many years of experience do we have on this roster? On these rosters? No,
we're not going to go picking champions. How many times have these guys drafted a League of Legends game?
It's crazy. It's wild. No, I'm sure that's going to actually be the Lucian then in the end. If that was the mess up, it looks like that's what it was because they have the camera on Tian. And,
well, they still had time on the Lucian, so I think it'd be like his pick or his lock-in was the last second Rise switch, so I'm not sure.
Oh, you think it was actually going to be the Rise then?
I don't know. I mean, Tian was the one
who
got locked
in, so yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll find out when you find out, probably.
Yeah.
Or probably not, and just get back into the draft and figure out that way.
Yeah, exactly. What will most likely happen is we will do the draft and then we'll see the same sort of things, and then at some point it's going to change and we'll be like, oh, that was the problem. Cool.
Yep. Cool. We're
we'll
good.
have to pick up from there.
All right, so this is a question I've been asking some people now. Which color or what team's away jerseys, because usually it's the away jerseys that are all crazy colors. Which one's your favorite? Do you like the pine green that Weibo have? Does it make sense? when you think of Weibo, do you think of green?
You don't think of green when you think of Weibo, but I think that you don't think of any LPL team when you think of green, to be honest. So I think it's a good way to go, because you could be like, well, you know what, we'll snatch green from anyone else before they take it. You know, like, I mean, I was on with Rafa at some point, and he went, yeah, red and white is just done, and by so many teams.
Like 3 or 4 teams for so long have the same colors.
And you've got white and occasionally black thrown in. You know, that's your IG jersey as well. So there's a nice little
I miss OMG
niche
man.
to find as well. You could get something good in there.
I miss the orange OMG jerseys. Like people might crucify me for that, but they were different, man. They were different. We always see the same colors in esports. Well, now we're going to see the same draft that we just saw. So get ready to rumble, because it's going to be the Vi first pick. And then really it's the second pick for Weibo that we got to see if it's going to be the Lucian, if it's going to be the Rise, if it's going to be something completely different.
Okay, I think this is a good start.
It was the Victor the whole time.
So they didn't want the Rise, and instead they go for Victor, which is a early blind of this Victor, I will say. It's not without being able to be punished. I think Jarvan, for example, is something that we could see from Wei here, as that's been a pick that, you know, rises quite a lot when you've got immobile mid laners to try and punish, especially with an Aurora and a Rakan as well. It's a really good power combo to go for. So this is now a question of what do IG prize. They could go for Xayah just to make sure that there is some safety for Gala versus the Vi ulti, or they could go for the Jarvan to make sure that there's some threat onto Xiaohu as he moves into the late game. So a couple of choices for IG to make their pick off just now.
I do wonder if they're just going to go for that lovers duo, a little bit of safety in that bot lane. It is going to be locked in for the Xayah. So now we go into the second phase, and Wei has not gotten his jungler just yet, and there's still some of the flexibility of where the Aurora can go for IG. As we get that Lucian ban from their side, they're going to go ahead and take that one away from Light. Not going to give over a duo bot side, but now Weibo, their focus is more interesting.
Yeah, so expect Wukong, expect Jarvan maybe to get taken off of the board, and then you look at champions like Nocturne to maybe be dive threats that can go with this Rakan and potentially enable the Aurora as well. Alternatively, they could just look to ban away some of those really tricky solo laners. Again, I love the fact that they're putting some attention into the mid lane. This Aurora is not exclusively for the mid lane. I think this is something that IG do really well, is they take this Aurora pick early, and then they just punish you, or they will punish you in the draft for it. Because now, with at least one mid ban, you can just put this Aurora mid lane. You can have effectively made it a ban for nothing, and that might make Weibo's life that little bit more difficult. I do think that with these 2 mobility bans getting taken off the board, they are looking for a Jarvan pick, and I think that increases the priority of Corki for Weibo as well.
Okay, I think that's going to be curious to see. I would love to see the Jarvan pick. It's also a very big classic for Wei. I do wonder what Weibo's last ban is going to be, where they expect this Aurora to end up going, or if they're going to just try to ban out that mid lane a little bit more. They're going to ban another Wei classic away from him in the Wukong ban.
So expect the jungle to get locked in here. Let's preserve that Aurora flex for as long as possible. And again, I think that if they go for the Jarvan, they've got lockdown for the Victor. You kind of force the hand of Weibo as well to look for one of these picks that have that mobility. Alternatively, they could just opt for another pick that keeps that flexibility open. Man. They take the Yone here, which doesn't reveal the flex, because theoretically the Shy or Rookie could play this. It now means that Xiaohu and Breathe have got to be happy playing either one of these sides of the matchup. And it means as well that Light and Crisp don't get full information for their picks.
I think I might smell something burning.
I'm smelling game 3.
I'm smelling game 3 right now. That's what I'm smelling. As the Callista is locked in for Weibo and the Renata. So they'll get the combo Crisp, a great Renata aficionado. One of the first, actually the first to really do that Renata ult flash combo that came out when she first came into the thing. But it really is about the 2v2 now for Weibo. And it's really about giving Light something to stand on in this game number 2.
And I do actually like Kalista versus Xayah as an answer. I quite like Renata versus Rakan as well. If you can handshake out of the grand entrance, that's going to be really big. And for IG as well, their composition, they've got a little bit of dive here with the Yone, with the Maokai and the Rakan. But trying to get on top of Light is actually going to be really difficult. Like, he's got so many hops, and these are, you know, skill shots that for the most part you're reliant on. You are looking exclusively at Wei for that flash twisted advance to give you any form of confirmed CC, but Light might just take cleanse and be absolutely fine with that, or have a QSS, or there be a McHale's in his back pocket so that he can just get out to safety and then start dancing around IG, and that might just be the situation where there's not particularly too much damage that can connect onto the Kalista because she's so mobile.
I think that's going to be a really hard question for IG to answer. Do we like the draft style from IG in this game number 2? Do we feel like it's something where they are set up for success with the Aurora back in topside for TheShy for, you know, a third time in the split?
Yeah, it's honestly not something that he looked great on in the previous series I saw him playing, but it was a pick that he took to enable Rookie. Last time they did this, it was to give Rookie a Victor pick on R5 that he took over the game with, or that he was looking like a monster on. So these Aurora flex picks are so frequently to enable Rookie to have a better mid-game, better late game as well. And now he's got this Yone, who is one of those champions that you can just completely dominate on if you get the chance.
Yeah, we got the Wild Wild West mid lane going on here with the skids we got too, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see exactly what works out between the two, but Weibo, they got slapped a little bit in that game number 1. IG looked so dominant, but now sides are reversed. They have a little bit more stable comps, at least for Weibo, a little bit more ease of execution for them as well, and a lot more kind of double-edged sword, literally, for IG. Can IG sweep Weibo, or does Weibo come back and bring us to 3? Let's see. And off we go.
And at least in summer, for the time being, we've got a 50-50 win rate for Kalista so far. So
okay.
Not quite that MSI level.
MSI be damned.
4 picks so far has been 50-50 on either end. So, you know, we're looking at this pick because it came back from MSI and everybody was saying it's the worst champion in the game. How dare you ever pick this? You must be so
Hey, TF was right there with him.
That's true. And for Light, at least, it's been a pick that he should, at the very least, well, I'd like to say perform on, but we can never be too sure.
Yeah, it does give them more agency in that bot lane. I do like seeing Weibo kind of adjust to that factor, but our big focus today was in mid lane, and I think this game 2 matchup is going to be a very different one from that game 1, where we're kind of supporting cast. Definitely worked out for Rookie a little bit more so. Rookie, like, is the saving carry here, right? Once he gets to an item, he can really be pressureful, but once he gets to 2-3 items, he will fully carry game with this Yone pick, and it's up to Weibo to try to find ways to dissuade them. And speaking of, looking at that bot lane 2v2, Summoner's going to be burned across the board for both sides. Both heals going to be down. The Ghost from Gala also popped.
Yeah, wow, okay, that's I think that's a mistake from Gala. Must have to assume that that's a misclick, because there's no way Ghost was ever going to be beneficial there. But Light having a pretty decent start of things there. You got to see the combat summoner used to open up or get in range to start doing some auto attacks, as we've seen TheShy get some really good trades onto Breathe here. But for the combat summoner usage down on the bot side, Crisp used heal to get in range, meant that Meiko had to use heal to get out of range again, and they're just looking for a little bit of chunk damage down to establish prio down bot side.
Yeah, take a look at those junglers as well. Going to be different from game 1 again in multiple different fashions. Also with the jungle clears, TheShy play with Breathe here, but both junglers going to be pathing up towards this top side. Might see some early action if the push keeps going.
Yeah, and you know the Maokai, you know, on pace to go a little bit faster than the Vi at this stage, so we'll be able to get to that top side you'd expect on the same window. Oh, recalls the feathers.
I think he got it.
Yeah, I think he's still perfect CS, which is the kind of wild part. Yeah. Despite the fact that they've been walked away, or maybe they've missed an entire wave.
Missed a couple.
Yeah. But now we're fighting for this top side. Wei, Q smite, yoink.
Just like in game number 1, we're going to see the junglers starting off the fighting. Wei does get the better of Tian there in that scuttle trade, but we'll see if they actually want to contest over the next one. The back's just going to be completed from Wei. Tian really wants to get that other shuttle before he resets.
Yeah, I'm looking at the position of bot lane. He's now Ghost.
Okay, TheShy was invisible for a little bit. Gonna get the flash out of TheShy. And will be the Ghost also popped by Breathe. He's trying to get that extra wiggle room.
And now teleport available for TheShy. They've traded those mobility sums, but actually I think this is a benefit for Breathe. Even though he's going to be a little bit worse off in this laning phase, I do think that the Aurora is very easy to punish, and something that frequently we see when this Aurora gets picked is that it will get pushed into the turret and get dove. And maybe that's something
Weibo, you're taking the bait. Oh man, they opted to fall into the side that Wei was coming, but the flash will get them away. Now Meiko is the only one really standing between Weibo and the rest of the team. As Wei is forced to back away. Gala is going to have to reset as well. No, he's forced to stay because of the contestant that's coming through. Tian locked down here. Going to get the twisted advance to the Bramble Smash coming out, but now Wei is overextended. Going to flash away. Meiko, he's going to join his teammate. That extra range really coming in clutch for Meiko.
Oh no.
Gala and Meiko against the world here.
Yeah, Light took an extra turret shot there, and that probably thwarts them from going for the dive as they're trying to defend this second spawn of Gromp. And Meiko, he's got a lot of healing, don't forget. Summoning Heal's going to come up quite soon, and pushing the mid-wave as well. It does mean that IG are able to defend this contest. It's a little bit of wasted time from Tian. It also gives a good opportunity for Light to recall. He goes back to base, picks up those Berserker boots, and Gala's not going to get nearly the same advantage as it looks like Chris is going to be able to hold that wave down on the bot side, so Light won't miss anything for this recall. So all of that push and pressure into the bot side benefits the Kalista.
It does indeed, and they can keep playing off of that, especially now that the dragon spawn, but Grubs will be up in about 2 minutes and about 15 seconds or so, a little bit more. And I think something else to think about is when speaking of when power spikes happen, TheShy going for the solo. He
missed the Q.
He doesn't hit it. He's going to die. The weirding is not enough. Breathe. He might just snip his life from his very throat, and he's going to do it. Breathe with the outplay.
Level 5 versus level 6, Breathe takes the solo kill, and it's because of a missed skill shot by TheShy. He trims down a couple more minions, leaves the wave in a perfect spot, and this Aurora counter pick that should have been winning now finds itself in a really tricky position. Not able to find the solo kill, not able to extend that advantage, and now really going to suffer in that 1v1.
Meiko and Gala are feeling themselves down here in this 2v2, feeling a lot better than they did earlier. But you saw TheShy in the camera. He was laughing at himself. He knows what happened. Can't miss that twofold hex. And as he does, he loses a lot of that setup in top side. We'll take a look back at it.
Yeah, so he just hits level 6, and quite rightly, I think, goes for the all-in, especially as it's as soon as Breathe has used his skip and slash to go forward. And it looks really good, but Breathe, you know, second wind, potion ticking, Q goes wide, and he gets a lot of healing back from the Q as well. Got some really good healing runes coming through, and the ability to sustain the Aurora. Fortunately for Breathe, quite hard.
Maybe a little bit of a TKO. We'll see if it actually pays dividends, though. It will be the Merc Treads rush for Breathe, so he's going to feel a little bit more comfortable up there now. But let's take stock of...
Yeah, well, go ahead. Just able to dodge out the Aurora spells much easier as well.
Rookie going for an all-in on Xiaohu there. Fate Sealed is still available, but Xiaohu does not have the Chaos Storm. Chris going to be over here. We'll see if they want to do any movement around this dragon. Grubs are going to be spawning now as well.
So normally we get to see a sort of contest or a 1-for-1 in terms of who gets a couple of grubs, who gets the dragon, but it feels like Weibo are really far ahead in this early game and using the Kalista to their advantage. We'd like to see them start pushing the advantage a little bit more. Look for these fights. No level 6 for Meiko just yet.
Meiko able to get away now. Weibo closing ranks. They were really willing to go for that one. Meanwhile, we're getting another all-in and topside. Tian still has that cease and desist. Really lock somebody down. We said ease of execution for Weibo. So far they have a small advantage here to speak of, and Now that Tian can really lock down a champion, we'll see if he can get that off for the rest of the team. Still no objectives taken or even really fought over. Oh, TheShy dies again. No way. Okay.
One of these junglers needs to come top lane, man. These two are scrapping left, right, and center. Like, I'm looking at the minimap and thinking, who's going to make the first move?
Flights must be expensive to the island.
Yeah, exactly. This is like, you know, first class only. All flights, all seats have sold out, and yet somehow there's nobody here.
Nobody's allowed. The rookies now gonna see that Tian was coming up behind Xiaohu, so will not go for the all-in there. Rookie's really chomping at the bit, though. I would love to see them wait for an all-in with Rookie until they get that Blade of the Ruined King, but Wei's just going to start up the dragon. Crisp handshakes out of the grand entrance. That was beautiful. And now Meiko, he's getting a lot of feathers, a lot of spears in him. Gala was stepping forward on the light. They won't be able to get anything else. Now Xiaohu, fate sealed onto him, but he's going to flash out.
Yeah, that's interesting as well. His jungler was right there, so might have been able to sort of tank that up and not necessarily have to use the flash.
They want to move.
Decides that's not the case, and now looking in that mid lane once again.
Wow, they're just going to give over the dragon as well. Tian was scuffling at least with Wei. It takes a long time for this Maokai to kill the dragon.
Yeah, and with the hello, Tian. Just gone in.
Okay, I don't think he meant to do that. I really don't think he meant to do that. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they're going to try to fight it on the backside of it. I do not think he meant to take that Q over the wall. I think he meant to take it into his jungle or somewhere else, but that was tough, and that means Dragon is gone.
I think he may have been sniffing around for a steal. I'm going to be honest. I think Tian is one of those junglers who we've seen time and time again look for a steal or look for a play to try and keep his team at least level in those objectives or at least generate an advantage. And he had flash available. I think he knew exactly what he was doing, and then didn't really factor for Meiko being over the wall and that chain of CC being so powerful.
All right, well, that is going to be a mistake that might come back to bite them. It is just the first dragon. It is Mountain Soul, or Mountain Dragon, not Mountain Soul, rather. It's going to be some nice boost of stats as Wei's going to take the gank. Bree took the bait.
Junglers!
Now going to get the Between Worlds, and the jungler has made the ticket first class for Wei, straight to Breathe. And that's going to be a breath of fresh air here with that island breeze. TheShy gets the kill.
And that's what we've been waiting for so long, is just somebody to go into this top lane. They are scrapping every single minute. It's a freebie to go pick up. Meiko's now made his way up to this top side. Light is here as well, though, and both mid laners have TP to join if they want.
A little bit of healing from Meiko there. We'll get hand shook back by Chris, but the grubs will go fully over to Weibo. This time around, no contesting over, no fight from IG. That will be a really nice permanent objective to have for them. As Meiko needs to be very careful. There's some warding here. They're trying to catch him out. The handshake does go wide. Tian will finally take the third grub and now come over the wall to try to get Meiko.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Yeah. He does have his team coming now. They're walking. They're coming. They also have mid lane move if Breathe wants to.
Gala's coming straight from base here with that completed Yuntao.
Double grand entrance. They're going to get the Nature's Grass coming in as well. Double TPs. Call the Avengers. Call somebody. We want to fight over this red side as Rookie immediately runs away. The Chaos Storm's going to be popped by Weibo. TheShy trying to get a little bit of poke damage on the other side. Fate's at least going to be Fate's call going to be used. And Weibo actually try to collapse over this top side. They might be extending a little bit, but they want some plates.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what their end goal is here. Tian goes back in.
Oh, the Fate Seal comes in and he goes straight for Crisp. Does get the hostile takeover right back, and they can't get a kill. There is so much blood being shed, but nobody's going down.
Yeah, lots of pretty colors, but nobody dies as all the ultis come through. Many flashes to safety from Crisp and Tian, but not quite the ability to find lethal damage just yet. This entire time, by the way, Gala, before the grubs, pushed a mid-wave, went back to base, finished off his Yuntao. Then spent a little bit of time hoping to try and find a fight in this top side, realized there wasn't anything doing, went back to mid lane, pushed a wave uncontested. He's trying to get back into pace with Light, so he's down in CS, but he's actually up on experience because he's just been hitting so many mid waves uncontested.
And that's going to feel really good, especially once the items start coming through. Xayah is no slouch when it comes to hyper carrying. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, Ruler ran this league with this pick. And I think you can think to try to be like Ruler in a lot of ways with LPL ADCs. Now, Rookie is a little bit tattered up top lane, but he will end up getting his back off. And we do have first items coming through. I do wonder if Rookie is going to hit his now. Meiko's going to go for an engage on Tian. We end up getting a little bit of contest in the invade here, but they're really hovering around this bot side. TP is going to come through for Meiko to come save Rookie. He might be able to get up here just in time to get the grand entrance back. Rookie wants to fight on the light, but needs to be careful.
Yeah, no fate sealed means that the commit isn't as easy as IG might have liked, even though they get a good little chunk with a Vampiric Scepter in the back pocket. You'd like to think that Light will be able to sustain all of this back on up. We've got a set of Heralds spawning in 45 seconds. I say set up, it's just one exclusively, and then the Drake spawning in 50 seconds, so people need to start taking their bases
next
to the
year.
Shy.
Oh my gosh. Queen World's going to be popped, but he doesn't get nearly enough distance. The Weirding not either. And now Breeze is coming for him as well. One more snip. No, not going to have it in him just yet. The cooldown not there. TheShy barely scrapes away.
And he backstepped into that as well. Like, he was taunting Breathe, going, I can walk the wrong way and still be fine. So managing to get out to safety there is a little bit fortunate for TheShy, maybe just knowing exactly the ramifications, or the damage rather, that he was going to be exposed to. But looking at this game, MAzel, 15 minutes in, we are dead even in gold. Not really a hair to split between these two teams. Very small advantages on one side for junglers and mid laners on one end, but nothing really to write home about. And as we look into this game a little bit later on, we're talking about the power of execution, or the ease of execution. I do think that Light on a Kalista, typically a champion that's very difficult to navigate anyway, but I do think that up against this composition with a cleanse in the back pocket, it should be pretty easy for Light to start dancing and start going crazy. The second he gets locked down by some sort of knockoff or CC though, that's when it starts to get tricky.
Gala had the pop off in game 1. Light wants his own. Grabbing the Kalista, really going for this 2v2 pressure, really going for him to have some carry potential where he maybe didn't have it as much in the execution of last game. Will be another dragon going the way of IG though, so they'll continue stacking up that objective. Meanwhile, that Rift Herald already started up by Weibo will be gifted over to them, and while the turret's going to go back to IG. So gold going both ways.
Yeah, it's a turret for turret trade and then a Drake for a Herald trade. IG currently sat 2 Drakes to 0, working up to an Ocean Soul for this game. And whether or not Weibo look to contest them on that third Drake, I think they would be wise to. They've got some really decent spiking champions at that point between the Kalista and the Vi. And then as they move later on into the game, I do really like Weibo scaling. This Victor is going to be a monster later on. The Gwen as well, going to do great things. If she's left unchecked, Scala ghosts forward.
Oh, he gets hand trick back. Nature's Grass coming in. Meiko over the top. Rookie just hit his Blade of the Ruined King, and he wants to use the spike, but Wade loses his life before they can even do anything. Blade Caller's already been popped by Gala too. Meiko needs to run away. Light wants to chase him down, but the rest of Weibo back away.
Yeah, and you talked about it in the fight, MAzel. Gala not able to really contribute to that. He pops his ghost in an attempt to dodge the handshake, but Crisp handshakes him into the gravity well, and Gala's out of commission for the first 3-5 seconds of that fight, where Wei can't actually sustain himself, can't stand tall in that front line on this AP Maokai. So it means that IG look for a fight that they can't take, and that Weibo actually find themselves a really good advantage.
Double mask Maokai, not going to be nearly as tanky. You can see what they wanted.
And they're looking for Crisp, and he just gets Fates called back out to safety. Double CC chain from the Renata into all the damage that the Victor has to offer. It's more than easy for Weibo to come out with an advantage, and this Victor, again, one of these champions that is going to scale very well into the late game, hasn't really been threatened early on. Xiaohu, a player on this team who in recent splits we've criticised for being quite weak and not really stepping up to the fold, but in this season, in split number 3, has actually looked like an incredible player. And now in game number 2 of this series, where game 1, not necessarily his fault that he lost, but he wasn't able to put on the carry pants on the clear, he's now looking like he could do the same thing on this Victor.
Oh, Meiko in a little bit of trouble. Mobility that Rakan provides to get away from that one, and you can see in that little moment, that little setup that Rookie just played on the Xiaohu. Rookie is terrifying right now. Chris gonna make it away from Meiko's grand entrance, gonna handshake him, cool, calm, and collected. But look at Rookie, he is eviscerating Tian here. He's gotta be careful. And that Blade of the Ruined King spike, I see it coming like a freight train down the tracks, but it always surprises me nonetheless how much it unlocks this champion.
Yeah, really solid pick, as we get to see really solid trade actually from Light in the mid lane. That's like 2-3 auto attacks and a good Q weeding in some great rends as well. But looking to take this tier 1 turret down, Rookie actually able to pretty much individually find the time to work his way through this turret. He's able to work through Tian's health bar as well as he's trying to cover one of the waves, but for the most part, it's a really solid look for IG's mid laner, who's also this split alone in sort of the reverse of Xiaohu, come under criticism. Hasn't really felt like he's been hitting the same way that he used to in Split 2 and in Split 1. But again, in this series, we're seeing Rookie deliver. His Orianna performance was pretty standout, and he was in a position where he actually was able to put the pressure onto Xiaohu early on and find his way to an Ascended win.
We'll see how much consistency can reign king. Third dragon potentially for IG just over the horizon, just over a minute. Would be a soul point and an ocean soul, which both comps I feel like would love at this point, but especially as time goes on. And any picks, anything you can get before this fight is going to be huge.
Got Disco Meiko here, Ghost Cleanse, as he's able to navigate his way back out to safety. Spellbook giving him the freedom to be able to roam around this map. Redemption first for Meiko is going to add the boost to these team fights. There's a little bit of extra HP between the rest of the squad. Noticeably though, Crisp also has that item picked up, ready to go. Atacon has spawned on this top side. Rookie looks to be the focus for now. Doesn't use his E. Going to try to farm as much of that wave as possible. Gets one melee creep before he realizes he's got to dip back.
So the thing here that IG are wrestling with, I guess that both teams are wrestling with, is the fact that Atacon has spawned on the top side of the map. It would be a pretty early Atacon, but you can force it over the dragon. It looks like Weibo want to try to contest this side of the map, the side that IG want with this dragon spawning.
Yeah, I think that the Ocean Soul in the long run is going to provide you that little bit more than the Atacon, as Meiko once again just kind of fiending with Weibo, spotting them out, seeing where they are. We started up early, 1.5 items across the board, but it's 2 items for Gala.
Another 50-50 potentially here as well, going through. Tian lost the other ones, but here goes the 50-50. It's going to go the way away again! Hostile takeover hits onto 2, and now Gala has to use the Feather Storm. He's all by himself in the front line, though. Everybody else is running away, but IG got what they came for. Wei cannot miss.
But what do they lose off of this? Do Weibo get now free purchase to try and walk up and get a vision on the Atacon? Not looking to be the case. It actually looks like, really, IG get themselves soul point, and all they have to do is lose the TheShy for it. A weird skirmish, you know, honestly, where it felt like not really anybody had to die, but that Weibo would have needed a lot more. TheShy actually throws his life away to sort of zone away 3 people, but look at this hostile takeover that rolls through, lands onto every carry that IG have to offer, and completely takes Gala out of the fight, takes Rookie out because both of them are DPSing one another, and there's nothing that the IG carries can do to threaten Weibo. Yes, they've got this soul, but they're now down 2k gold.
Meiko is going to need to do something. Flash guy has his teammate right there. Perfect. Did have
Battle
to burn the
dance
flash.
range. It's longer for Rakan to TheShy, so it's easier for him to get through, but now Weibo, they're looking, they're searching on this top side. Not going to be able to find Rookie, but they might be able to find this Atacon start.
Do we feel like this is bold? No ultis available for IG. They don't burn it necessarily super fast, but they do have a second item on Light, and those Ren stacks are going to really start stacking up here. Meiko coming over. They have Rookie ready to go with the Q3. They're going to try to move into the pit. It's going to be another 50-50 potentially, but Wei can't get in there. Wei's waiting. He's going to use the Nature's Grasp. They're waiting to take it. The Rend, it's going to be taken by Tian. They get the play onto the Atacon now. Rookie stacking up on the side, but they need to be careful. This trap is about to be closed shut on them. They're going to try to take down one, but the bailout's there. It's not enough to get Tian out. Rookie now in trouble against Light. He's all by himself on the wrong side of the fight. Fate's Call is going to be used as well. IG do make it away, licking their wounds. Trying to get Xiaohu on the back end of it, but they were able to pick 2.
Weibo coming out on these fights consecutively now, finding leads and generating more and more gold. They get the Atacon as well. And it's because IG, they're a little bit split. They don't really know what they need to do, and they're not uniform in their approach. It's the Atacon being picked up for Weibo, and I hope that we can get a replay to break down the issues that IG ran into. First of all, Xiaohu just having a mammoth performance, walks up, Gravity wells 3 of them off, so Wei, Meiko and Gala can't get through. And then when Wei walks in, look at Rookie, he's not looking to fight at all. He's looking to try and stack his Q before he comes into this fight. Which means that when he starts here, he's already lost his jungler. And yes, they're able to pick off one, but because he's used his tether, he's always going to go back. And there's no way that IG can make it into that fight at all.
And that's the tough entrance here moving forward as well. And that's something we really talked about from the draft, at least for Weibo, is there are just a lot of options to make this comp work. I mean, Crisp is having a remarkable Renata game, but it takes the village here for Weibo, and they've been executing it very well.
And we talked about the fact that this composition on both sides, they've got good scaling aspects, but that the Victor as we move into this late game is going to be a monster. The access to him is so situational and so dependent on Rookie, on Meiko being able to link up with one another and try and find a way into these fights. And now Tian looking for this fight. They've got a deep TP.
Oh, this is looking like the nail in the coffin potentially here for IG. They're going to pull the play from Xiaohu. They're going to try to fight back, but Rookie's going to use his Fate Sealed out right into the waiting arms here with the Needlework coming through as well. Breed going to try to run him down, but Rookie wants to get out, wants to flash. IG making the great escape right now. Meiko might have just slowed himself down, though. Yeah, they think they see the TP, the play, the handshake. Chris stops him in his tracks. Meanwhile, they are a little bit split now, but they will hone back in on Rookie and take him out from the rest of the team. There is also the Dragon coming up. He will be up in time, but he won't have his TP.
Yeah, so you can expect Weibo to try and take this Drake on spawn, but you can expect IG to give it up without a fight. They did use Nature's Grasp, but that might well be back up and available by the time that Dragon comes to bear. And Wei, we've seen it time and time again where he's been on top of those smites. Might be more difficult if Light's there stacking up those Ren stacks a little bit earlier. But IG now with a chance to flip maybe the game. If they lose and die here, then that's a very real opportunity that the Baron then gets started. I think that the power spikes for IG not quite where they need to be. We've hit 2 items on our AP carries and yes, 2 items on Rookie. They're looking to try and flip this. Gala has no IE, so they're heading for the Baron.
No way they're doing this. I mean, hey, I like it. They're going to lose the Dragon here, but they might just get the Baron. Bree's going to get the news to the team. The Dragon is gone. Nature's Grasp hit first.
Oh, it's
they
not
are
low.
So late for this. They're going to try to get it down. Come on, it's low. It's going down its ways. But now they need to escape. They need the buff.
IG.
They need something. Bree's going to run him down. He's like, you are not getting away from me. I'm going to sink my fangs deep into IG. Wei will go down as well. Xiaohu finds another kill.
You know what? I'm calling worse for IG. They were never getting that Dragon in the first place. And they stopped Weibo from being able to accelerate the pace of this game much further. They only lose their support and their jungler, so all 3 carries have got that Baron buff. Now TheShy using the stealth, I thought he was going to try and clear out the wave. He's able to do so.
He does no damage.
But is Rookie now going to try and make a hero play?
Between world used. TheShy is trying to get damage down, but TheShy does no damage right now. Though they have Gala here. Gala could do something. Rookie, he almost has Fate Sealed back. Rookie wants it. Rookie tries to get Light, but Light flashes out. Light's trying to get away, and Light not able to. Rookie cuts him down. Gala gets the kill on the Crisp, and that's the bot lane gone from Weibo.
This is why they spent the big bucks, MAzel. 3v5, they're able to find a fight up against Weibo. This IG organization at the start of 2025 said, be damned with these innovative rebuild rosters, and they splurged big for the super team. In split 1 and split 2, it was a colossal failure, but in split number 3, Gala, TheShy, and Rookie are looking to deliver on that promise of making a big performance. It's Light dancing as best as he can, but it's one of the all-time mid-lane GOATs from the LPL that cuts him down.
The Rookie to Worlds campaign is in full steam, baby. As you need that big 3 to really come through for this team. You can sub out JJ, you can go to Wei, you can have all that, but it is about the meat. It is about Rookie, Gala, and TheShy being the carries to try to bring this team through. And Weibo just lost a hefty chunk of their lead. They're only up about 2.5K now, and there's going to be dragons coming up. There's going to be more soul opportunities for IG, and they still have Baron up.
And yes, this is good. This is a really big anti-tempo play. Like, it runs completely against the momentum, I should say, rather, of Weibo. They were coming away with fight after fight after fight, and they were doing so well at just thwarting everything that IG put down. But this doesn't mean that the composition for IG all of a sudden became easier to play, and that their position in this game and how easy their game plan is has changed entirely. There's now Meiko caught.
Oh, Meiko completely caught now. He's going to try to use the quickness. He just can't even get away. Yeah. It's like watching a horror movie right there as he just tried everything he could not escape. They're going to try to get some side lane pressure with Rookie, but that's all they'll get.
Yeah, and I think they're going to lose tier 2 in the mid lane here. Maybe Gala can do a little bit of
for
heroics.
5 seconds.
Yep, okay, well the wave just shreds under Gala, which is nice, as Crisp should be fine here, but 3 items on Gala. Again, we've highlighted how incredibly powerful this AD carry can be, I think, in their series. You know, up against FPX, faltered a little bit, but now he's the focus. No ulti, remember, on Tian, so he's just posturing to make sure he can't get access to this wave, and can't importantly get access into the turret either.
Just nobody can do anything about it. That 2-2 is gone from this world. The 3 grubs really coming back to pay dividends for Weibo. As we do look, we're on 3 items for life. Going to be close to that 3rd item for Xiaohu as well.
That's honestly just really smart play from Weibo, I will say, and honestly a little bit disrespectful from Gala. You know, you should never be able to step on that wave. Tian, though.
It's just going all in on Tian, trying to get him. They do get the blue buff. They didn't get what Rookie wanted, but the turret's going to fall too. They go straight on the light. IG are fighting here, but they are not with the rest of their team. Breathe is just running down Gala. Going to force the Featherstorm out. Now TheShy is completely caught out. Oh, he's trying to bounce between. Going to flash out. Blade Caller is going to be used, but he is already dead. Because now that means your big pick potential is gone. TheShy is out of there, and Weibo can look to push mid.
But once again, look at the summoner spells burned. We get Crisp's flash taken off the board. Tian lost his flash in the prelude to all of this. And really all they lost there was TheShy's flash, who on this Aurora is just really running interference. Isn't looking to be the superstar in this game, but is a possibility that he can maybe make some sneaky plays work. For Weibo, though, it's a great timing on that pick. Once again, it happens just as the dragon is spawning. Now this time TheShy has got flash. And we look at those ultis. Gala, no Featherstorm. Meiko, no quickness. Weibo, they should be able to find this fight.
What they do have, though, are item completions. 3 items for Rookie. Fate Sealed coming up as well. They need their big 3. They get the TP coming in. It's going to be a little bit late. Chaos Storm's already doing so much work. Nobody can get in the pit. Wei can't even get over there. It's already gone now. Rookie chunked half health as he even gets to the fight. He has to use the Fate Sealed, or at least the movement out of there. And now they have this 50-50 going the way of Weibo. They get a 2nd Ocean Dragon in a row.
And this is the game, Lennon, we were hoping for, where it's about those mid laners. It's Rookie. If he can find a big Fate Sealed, then maybe they can win the game. But around the dragon this time round, it's Xiaohu, who actually cuts IG down to size. Gravity Well on one side, Chaos Storm on the other, chunking IG down. Wei can never get into the pit because he's getting throttled by the Victor. And the zone control that it provides as well is far too huge. It means that IG are thwarted once again in their attempts to try and take the soul, and it means that Weibo buy themselves another 5 minutes.
They do indeed. Their scaling is going to be absolutely insane. Xiaohu has now hit his 3rd item. You're getting close as well for Breathe. We were talking about the big 3 for IG, but you got to also talk about the big 3 for Weibo. Xiaohu, Light, and Breathe. The core potential right now in the game. Tian and Crisp, they're all there for setup and peel. But it's about the other 3 to really lock things down in these fights.
And the power that comes from IG's composition comes around these big ticket cooldowns, around Fate Sealed, around a quickness engage. What's a great answer to those? Well, it's stasis. It's an ability to invulnerable them. Xiaohu has got an ability to go golden. The same for Breathe as well. So if they use those stases at crucial times, it can nullify Rookie, it can nullify TheShy, and it can nullify anything that IG want to do if they're used appropriately. I think that in these big team fights, Weibo's chances of succeeding are going up and up as we get later on in into this game, the ability to purchase items and the way in which they've crafted their builds is giving them more of a lead than they maybe have just off the gold.
Yeah, exactly that. And it's just one of those comps where they knew what they were drafting when they came to it. If it was going to go late, they had options. And some of those options going to be coming alive now. They're really tussling and kind of fighting for positioning over this Baron pit. I will say Gala just hit his Bloodthirster spike, so he will be on 4 items on the Xayah. Is it enough, Root?
And that's the counter, isn't it? Is that, yes, there are some big ticket items that, or big ticket cooldowns that IG have got to offer, but what they've also got is this Flicker Blade Xayah, who is going to have 100% uptime on the W, Deadly Plumage, and going to have that increased attack speed and damage profile pretty much throughout if she can auto attack. I think that's a really important caveat, because walking around Chaos Storm Gravity Well, trying to dodge the hostile takeover from Crisp, and then having Breathe Zone where you just can't walk up to the Gwen at all, is already proving to be quite difficult. So in instances where Gala can auto-attack, he's going to shred, but finding those opportunities on such a short-range marksman is actually really difficult.
And on the other side of things, I feel like all the options are outlaid on the table for Light. I mean, he's got a GA, he's got the bailout, he's got the hostile takeover from Chris, we got the handshake behind him as well the whole time. I mean, he's got every survivability tool he could ask for.
We've got 90 seconds on that Soul. Baron has been live for a while now. Weibo hesitant to pull the trigger. In fact, it's Gala who's soloing this now.
Okay.
Weibo, I think Xiaohu spotted that just barely. And they probably would have been able to get away with that, to be completely honest with you.
He took like almost a quarter off in that little exchange.
I think that with Maokai there, completely different beast, and with Gala just teasing the waters a little bit, seeing what it is that he's capable of. They've now got a litmus test for how long they can do that Baron and how quickly they can do it, but it's Weibo starting it up. All summoners available on all sides.
Oh, Waze got it before, but can he do it now? Nature's Crash coming in. He's waiting to go over the pit. It's going to be stolen by Tian, or at least taken by Tian. Now Gala can't really hit, like you were saying. Rookie goes back out the other side. Tian getting low. TheShy wanted him. He flashes, though. Now TheShy's going to have to flash away. Gala still looking for something, but they might move over to the Dragon. This tempo play means that Weibo will lose priority over the Dragon pit.
But I think they've done it soon enough that they can all recall with those Baron-empowered recalls, get back out onto the map, and be able to contest this comfortably. What did they lose for that? They lost Crisp Flash and Tian Flash. They're going to probably have hostile takeover up within the sequence that Baron happens, and Nature's Grasp on the flip side got lost. Gala with no Ghost is a pretty big deal, as he would look to use that to space.
Oh, they got Crisp! Can't even react, can't even bail himself out!
And he's just stepped too far forward, he's just a little bit too quick, and that should just be the soul here for IG, as Crisp, an uncharacteristic misstep there, as he's just stepped a little bit too close to the IG members. But look at where Weibo are going. They've got a wave in the top side. They're going to push mid. They're going to look for that top tier 2. No empowered recalls for IG, so they're going to take a long time to get back to defend that turret. But they have got 5 members to do it with.
And now they have the Ocean Soul. It's going to be so useful for them in some of these fights, these odd-offs, because we've seen these teams really stand at odds for each other, not all the time fully committing. And that's really just going to be a boon for IG.
And importantly as well, we've seen these fights largely go the way of Weibo. Like, it's been very much that in the big 5 versus 5s, Weibo are the ones coming out on top. So having this Ocean Soul as a little bit of an extra boost to their combat power might actually tip IG over the edge and make them able to start winning out in these team fights.
Double GAs for Weibo now, though, and almost 4 items completed for Xiaohu. He's working on a hat now. Speaking of hats, Breathe had completed his, still also has his Seeker's Arm Guard. IG not shying away from being present on the map now, though, and there's a big kind of doomsday timer sitting on the clock right now. 4 minutes and 50 seconds for that Elder. What do we want to see these teams do in that time?
I mean, for IG, it's about waiting out this Baron, making sure that Weibo don't get anything more than what they've already earned. I mean, even down 5k gold, we're looking at this and thinking that really, it's only that top lane where there's a massive advantage. I mean, look at the items between Vi and the Maokai, right? Like, they've both got 3 completed items. The real lead comes from Breathe, and Mid lane and bot lane, largely even. We're not going to scrape over 700 gold value in the late game. So I think that with IG just stalling, waiting for Weibo and not letting them get anything with that Baron, Tian has just gone forwards.
Loses about half his health there too.
I will say one of the things that Weibo so frequently fall to is Tian getting caught in the late game. He will just be a little too far forward and end up getting picked off by a support engage, by a jungle engage, where he's just not quite supposed to be.
Feels like both teams with one slip up can really fall off the ledge here, but Weibo seem to have a firm grasp of how they want to approach this. They are sticking as 5, and he said see champion, kill champion. If they can adhere to those rules as we move forward. That's going to be a team-wide red buff there for IG. Meiko's going to lose a decent chunk of his health, but that's where the Ocean Soul comes in.
Especially through the Abyssal Mask as well. That's a lot of damage that he took. It would have been a bunch more had it not been Rookie though.
I don't know if Rookie wants that. Rookie's just fully locked down. He's going to get his GA pop. Is it enough? They are going to lock down Tian, but he has GA too. GA is popping left and right. TheShy looking for his angle into Light. Light is trying to get to the rest of the team comp. They can't do it. Weibo are going to back away. Some serious GAs down though, and IG are using this Ocean Soul to keep their health advantage. Look at Rookie! Wants the play. Rookie wants it. He can't find the kill though in the end. Weibo, they are scared. They have their tails between their legs. They're running away, but TheShy wants them. TheShy gets the double weirding, and they've cut Weibo in half. That's going to be the Blade Caller coming back.
Hostile takeover!
He can't do it. It's going to be such a big hostile takeover. Now Breathe walking forward. Breathe so big, and it's Weibo that turn it on its head. 1,000 golds goes back as Xiaohu finally dies, and TheShy full health from this Ocean Soul. This Ocean Soul is getting so much value, Roodood. As they move forward, the GA, Rookie wants it. He's not going to have much damage. Missing from Tian. This is so tight. Rookie wants the kill here, though. Going golden is Breathe. TheShy's all by himself now, too, though.
Flash handshake.
He's going to get the hostile. No, the handshake back in, and Weibo had pulled the trigger right on time.
And you may have an Ocean Soul, but you don't have the members. A TP into the mid lane from Breathe. And this game, this series could be going the distance, MAzel. 20 seconds on Gala. Breathe with a wave in the mid lane. He's going to look to chop this game down.
I mean, he is absolutely going to do so. We knew this one was going to 3, and it's getting that much closer.
Weibo and IG just giving us these insanely close fights. This one again, dangling on a knife's edge as to who it is that's going to come out on top, who's going to find that massive advantage and who's going to be able to run away with the game. At this point, we're still no closer to knowing. It's only an inhibitor that's the difference. A great flash from Light there. If he gets caught up in that, he can't save his support and probably ends up burning his GA nice and early. But TheShy actually creating so much space on this Aurora. And I want you to watch Hostile Takeover. Yeah. Look at Gala's HP bar here. He's absolutely fine, absolutely fine. 1, 2, 3, good night. Gets chopped down by Rookie. His own teammate culls him in the face of a winning team fight there. That looked like IG were about to slaughter this fight in the bot side. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's once again Chris making it work.
And I'm not going to lie, he kind of used the Featherstorm to move, and he moved with the hostile takeover. So when he came out of it, he was still in the smoke. And it's going to feel a little bit bad in the end, but it's little minute things, and then they tried to turn it around last second. But now this lead feels all and totally encompassing for Weibo, as they have almost 10,000 gold up over IG.
We're at this 42-minute marker now, MAzel, where Gala's still not even quite full build. Tian fishing forward. Actually has finished off that Mortal Reminder now, so at max capacity. We've got 4 items as well for our Rookie in the mid lane. GAs and flashes, they're what we're looking for. Gala didn't burn his flash in that final fight, but Light did. We've got 5 seconds on the Elder, and I think that flash cooldown is something that you really want to be looking for. TheShy also has his. Looking across Weibo, though, they don't have those big ticket summoner spells.
Weibo a little hesitant on how they want to move in. They actually get a catch on a Crisp. It's going to be Nature's Grasp onto him as well. Fate's Call is going to be used. He's immediately out of there.
And then that's Cleanse as well, used by Light. So now no summoners for the Callista. Any access to the Dancing Dartress, and she will go
they
down.
burn it. Is this the moment? Is this the Wei smite that makes it all matter? It's Wei versus Tian in the pit, 50-50. Who's going to get it? It's going down to Gala! Gala got it for IG, and now he's rinsing Weibo. 1 feather, 2 feathers, make him 3. The plate collar through, and they make
It's not enough!
Weibo. Lights got back too. They've got 2 Belder Dragons up. A triple kill comes through for Light, but it is blood across the rift, Roodood.
So just Rookie gets away. We don't care about the Elder on Meiko. Light's able to actually keep himself alive and turn this fight back around. But it's actually Breathe that turns this fight. The Gwen value, we've talked about it this entire game, that the only real lead in this game was sat on Breathe. But actually, in this final Pinnacle team fight, it was the Breathe show. The Gwen pop-off happens right at the very depth here. Outsmiting a Xayah combo is actually really tricky. Rookie buys a lot of space in the top, but Blade Caller here is able to do enough to shred through the Drake to get through that soul. 2,000 and a smite early as well. It's a very solid secure by IG. And you just think, okay, Gala surely is going to run away with this. But look at the needlework from Breathe. He knows he's got to go in or he's going to get bailed out. R3 chunks IG to size, and Rookie's able to get out to safety. But it's Weibo who, again, against an Elder of all things, are able to sustain.
But now that fight's not over. We have Baron up on the table and still have this Elder Dragon for a minute for IG. Can they use it on Rookie, the man in the mid lane? The guy that put that star on their chest right there. Can he be the one to do it?
I think that the sad reality is that this is probably just going to result in them securing this Baron. Maybe uncontested, maybe with a fight that Rookie will pop off in. It's got 40 seconds whilst that Elder's still on, and yeah, the Baron's going to go their way. They know that even Rookie alone is enough of a threat to be able to clear out that mid-wave, stymie the push for another 30 seconds. But IG are still fighting at a gold deficit here. They're still sat in a position where really, if the numbers are to be believed, they aren't supposed to win this game.
We're like even builds and everything.
Yeah. It's those intangibles, MAzel. It's the fact that they've got an Ocean Soul at their back pocket. It's the fact that they've also now just picked up the momentum as well. Because they won that Smite fight, and because, honestly, Wei has won the majority of Smite fights. All of that internal mental energy that goes into, can I smite this objective, is, you know, it's being thwarted and it's being used on the side of IG to really tarnish what it is that Tian at the very least will be feeling.
Here comes the push from IG. Honestly, a dead even game here. Some of those moments coming through. Randuin's completed for Light. He's extremely tanky. That's why he's got such a big health bar. But everybody's coming to this top side here. The Baron buff can really make mincemeat of these turrets. See them commit to this. They want the fight. They want to go for the turret itself. TheShy waiting for the Between Worlds. Will end up being a little bit of usage from Chris. Rookie's taking a mid lane turret. We'll be just fine.
God, this is where it's get out to safety. This is the tense times. Breathe looking.
Oh, they got Gala. They got Gala. He's going to have to Feather Storm. He's going to have to Blade Caller. He can't do it. That's the GA pop. They try to go in the backline fight. Breathe is just tearing them apart, and Rookie can't get anything. Rookie hasn't been able to do anything.
Game 3, baby.
That's a double kill for Light, and that's going to definitely mean a Game 3 waiting for us between Weibo and IG.
They've got to push a wave. They've got to find their way through. Rookie's looking to corral these minions. If he dies with GA, he just clears this wave. That's job done for him. But if they try and find a wave elsewhere, just clear the wave, Rookie.
He's going to try to flash away, okay? They're going to get Tian over here. He doesn't have the cease and desist. He's going to just try to kill people. He might end up fighting somebody. Okay. He ends up getting the GA. It's going to be okay. They do have the gravity well there as well. They're going to lock him down, take him out. He can't do anything about it. He is still alive? How is this even possible? Somebody kill this man,
They're trying to delay the death timers. They're trying to stall death timers, I think. He just needed to take this wave. I think that this mid lane wave is going to get there in time, and the Weibo not have the ability to take this. They'll probably go for a 4 versus 5 now, where Rookie is like a minute behind his team. So they can't end. They don't even go for an inhibitor. And somehow another 43-minute fight doesn't end the game. It's Breathe, though, once again taking the fight into his own hands. He knows Gala's got no flash, and it's, in fairness, great timing from Gala. He gets over the hostile takeover this time, but TheShy is completely caught out. He gets taken down in seconds. And as you were highlighting, Rookie wasn't really able to do anything in this fight. He doesn't get access to the Callista, doesn't get access to the Gwen, and doesn't get access to the Victor. Those 3 targets are just free hitting the whole time. But now there's 20 seconds left on Rookie. Weibo, they're pushing in for the end.
IG were trying to defend bot side. They're going to use the Nature's Grasp here to pull across, but now they won't have that for any fight that ensues. They're going to lock down Ray. They just go for the frontliner here, and he can't do anything. She's going to have to flash out. Between Worlds goes through from TheShy. Hostile Takeover is being used. Gala, he's the focus. Featherstorm, Blade Caller, he can't get in damage range. He can't auto-attack, but TheShy's here. TheShy goes for a double weirding. Tries to get Tian. Tian doesn't go down. Fate Sealed coming in on Xiaohu.
They got Xiaohu!
Rookie's going to clean house now onto Light. Light's in trouble. Light's got G8. Light's
got
Fate's Call. He wants the bail. He wants everything. He's by himself, though, in the middle of IG. How do things turn up like this? How the turntables? His Light is gone. Weibo, they might just throw away their chance.
Take the mid wave, IG. You've got a 5 versus 3 on the map. No mid lane, no AD carry. This is your time to end it. We've been sat for 49 minutes, biting our nails on the edge of our seats, trying to see who's going to win this game. Can Weibo pushes to 3? Do IG take the series 2-0? This is IG's time to shine.
This is prime drama time. This is everything the LPL offers. IG, just off the loss of FPX, the back door that sunk into their hearts. They want to turn it on Weibo. Look at Meiko. He's going to go in. They're going to try to get the turrets. Gala needs to focus the turret. Gala's not doing anything right now. He's trying to dodge away from the hostile takeover. Breathe got a little bit of health here. Gala takes him down. Gala's still alive. And they're going to go to the turrets now. There goes Tian trying to get the back line, trying to get onto Gala. Gala's still alive. Gala's chugging them down. 1-2 punch to the face. And IG, they look to do it. A 2-0 over Weibo. What dominance.
What a game. IG 2-0 Weibo in maybe the least predictable fashion that you have ever seen. They took Elders, they took Barons, they stole Elders, and they stole some Barons. And somehow Weibo, with a gold lead throughout the entire game, aren't able to close out. It's IG, the super roster, the super team from the start of 2025 that come up clutch.
The longest game of the split so far. Absolutely incredible. It's crazy we've already had, with this, 70 games in this split, and it doesn't stop becoming bangers. Weibo's going to want that one back 10 times out of 10. But you said it best in game number 2. What did IG do this year? They dropped the cash load. They brought the big guns. And in those moments, this is what the payoff is.
I mean, a 2-0 here doesn't really tell you the story of the series. I mean, game number 1, IG, you know, pretty convincing run-of-the-mill win. They had a dive comp, they dove and they won. Whereas this time round, they had a completely mental composition that thrived around an Aurora flex pick, and that, you know, we relied on Rookie for so much of this. But again, I think that looking at our particular matchups, it's Wei once again who was frequently securing those objectives, and I'd like you to envision this game, but where Weibo have an Ocean Soul. It's over in 30 minutes. It's over so much earlier, and the game just isn't even close. But it's those smite fights that Wei's winning that is keeping IG competitive, and that in the end is actually giving them enough of a boost to keep them in the game.
And they were down almost 10,000 gold before that Elder Dragon play. Gala securing it with the Blade Caller. I mean, everything just falling in the right hands of IG. Like, that's the kind of stuff that makes this team magic, and you love to see it at its high highs. And this means that they moved to 3-2. That's going to feel really good. Obviously, they didn't get to play against BLG, but they have a big road ahead of them, right? We talked about next opponents for both these two teams. For Weibo, JDG, Top Esports. For IG, ALJDG. Those are not easy opponents, especially with JDG tonight.
Yeah, and I think that JDG looking, you know, like they could potentially be on a little bit of a return to form. Like you say, it's not going to look good for either of these two teams if they come off of a really rough series today. And I think that IG, this is a sort of series win that they needed after a disappointing series like 2 days ago where they get slammed by FPX, a team that everybody's expecting to just be able to pick up 3 wins against. The IG come away in that, you know, probably, you know, if they'd have played that FPX series better, could have easily found themselves at 4-1 in this position. And, you know, sort of hammered home the ramifications for these two organizations earlier on, but these are two teams that are fighting to appear at International, that are looking to try and claim what is probably going to be a 3rd or 4th spot at Worlds. And if they're finding these wins up against Weibo or finding it in the reverse against IG had it gone the other way, those are the types of series that you need to take.
And I shout out to the backroom staff, the coaching staff for IG. They've probably gained or lost like 5 years on their lives from these last 2 series. Like the back, if they literally were, maybe should have lost this game in a lot of cases. As you see, they lost or they won with a goal deficit. And I'm just happy that we got the Xiaohu rookie face-off for game number 2. Game number 1, they were supporting cast. Game 2 was all about them.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, they won with a gold deficit. They never had more than a 300 gold lead at any point during this game. We finally got to see what happens when these two mid laners battle head-to-head, and I think that when we got fights around objectives, Xiaohu was thriving. When we saw these really weird, like, we're losing our minds because it's 50 minutes into the game kind of team fights, that's when Rookie actually started to come alive, and in these larger open spaces, the Yone, weirdly enough, was the one beginning to thrive. And we're looking at the highlights. This is the first highlight, by the way. Xiaohu's already level 18. That should tell
this
you
is like 40 minutes in.
how much and how crazy this game ended up being.
This fight, and I go back to that point you said about the Ocean Dragon. This whole series of like 3 minutes of play doesn't happen for IG this well. Like, it still didn't end out very well, but they aren't able to stay in this fight this long if they don't have Ocean Soul, right? And I think there's so many dominoes that fell, but IG were able to chunk back leads here or there. And it was really nice to see from them in those clutch moments, kind of those big stressful moments. You could feel the tension on the Rift.
And I will say, one of the players who might go slightly under the radar in this game in particular is TheShy. I think that in any of the games, or any of the fights rather, that IG were looking competitive in, it was because of TheShy, and they were really living and dying by this Aurora in the late game as to how well it was that he would have been able to perform. And, you know, fortunately enough, in a couple of those fights, he's doing just enough to keep people safe, keep them alive. And in certain other instances, we're looking in positions where actually, well, he's just not quite got into a spot where he can do any damage. And, you know, this instance here where you get R3 from Gwen dealing like 2,000 damage, pretty mental.
And Light's just sitting there, Randuin's Omen completed, full health. This was the moment I thought it was over. We both were like, just go into the game. Ended up that Rookie like did some master-classing mind manipulation there. Ends up buying a lot of time.
Yeah, I think that for Weibo, they were caught between, do we want to delay his death timer so that we can look for an end on its own? And actually, if they'd have just pushed and got to this point a little bit earlier, maybe they'd have been able to do something with the very small wave that they had. But this is one of those instances you can see Hostile Takeoff not actually doing anything. I think TheShy in this fight as well danced with the in-between worlds all around Weibo, got away from 2 different instances of damage in 2 instances that Hostile Takeover would have gone for you. But it's Rookie finding the picks, right? Rookie here lands an ulti onto the mid lane, a knock up onto the AD carry, and wins the game for his team.
We said it from the beginning, like, 8-10 minutes in, you give a pick like this to Rookie, he is meant to help carry the game. He is meant to be a hyper carry. And him and Gala today were on one. They were on fire.
They were incredible. Gala, I took a little bit of time in the Xayah game, but that's kind of what you expect from Xayah anyway. Kai'Sa game, again, we were talking about him for a potential MVP slot. I think that in game number 2 as well, he was, again, a real big force to be reckoned with. It was something that Weibo constantly had to try and check, constantly monitor. But I think that Rookie this game, I mean, he probably won't win MVP because he was quite quiet for a large part of it. But he won them the game, objectively. With that ult, he stole Xiaohu's life. He then knocks up Light. That's the reason that that IG win this game.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I mean, we're not going to get to see this matchup again until the end of week 6, which is like the second to last week in the regular season. Good. So Rookie does get the MVP there, rightfully so. 4-4-10 might not be the shiniest score line, but you'll love to see Rookie dance on him. And from the moment he got that Blade of the Ruined King spike, he knew his advantages.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a really good point to call out as well, is that this wasn't just Rookie dancing in their base, distracting them, keeping them from ending the game. This was also Rookie constantly exerting pressure on the map with ultis forward, with Q3s forwards, with Blade of the Ruined King finished as well.
Yeah, and man, makes a quick night of it here as we feel like we haven't had, I guess since Monday, haven't had 2-2-0s, but it's crazy what this does for the standings implications and things like that, especially when we talked so much about how much each win matters for these teams, and we take a look at the standings here as well and see exactly where it all pans out. And as we had foretold, fighting for those 3rd and 4th spots for IG and Weibo to try to make it to Worlds.
Yeah, again, we're expecting that AL are probably going to take a little bit of a run through, the later half of this split once they've recovered a little bit. Expect them to try and make their way into the top 4. Expect JDG to start trying to make their way into the top 4 as well. And then you've got this series between IG and Weibo, who, we've just seen IG come out on top of, but you'd like to think that Weibo are going to be able to try and bounce back as well, as they've already got 3 wins under their belt up against some pretty good opponents.
Yeah, I gotta say, there's still a whole second round robin to explore on what exactly is going to happen. So many different stories. Do you have any thoughts on the day, Root, as you got to be here for both series? Did it feel like an LPL day? I mean, we had the longest game of the split here in the 4th game of the day.
I think people that have missed that final game have missed a treat. That will be, one of the best games of the split that we have through regular season. Just looking back across it, I think that the series to start us off for the day, again, it's a really exciting idea that JDG might be starting to return to some of their form as well. We talked about the fact that we were a little bit disappointed by Scout, and that now he's maybe making a bit of a return to form. That's definitely something to be excited by.
It is indeed, but before we go, we obviously have to give a huge and special thank you to our Elite Coffee supporters, as Aaron Soup, Mung, Forrest Without, and owners of Vasil Maril. Their pledge financial contributions help level up the broadcast on a daily basis and give back to the cast and crew who strive to give you this product on a daily basis. Please go give us some love on Coffee. It's a way to directly support the product, and all that love, all that help helps us make graphics like this, helps us make transitions like we had coming into Split 3, and helps everything run smoothly. So huge shout out to everyone of our Elite Coffee supporters, and huge shout out to Roodood and Kai sitting behind the scenes producing for the day. It's been a lot of fun to cover this last series with you all, but the whole day was a little bit of a short one, so maybe we'll get some better games tomorrow, but it was fun nonetheless, and we'll see you tomorrow for more LPL action as 2 more best of 3s coming your way. We'll see you there.